Alright, so today is 9th of July 2015, Thursday. Let's look at the economic calendar from today. Main thing was the unemployment rate for Aussie dollar. It's good because it's less than the forecasted. And employment change, so it looks like this is the number of jobs added from last month, the previous month, so it should be June. Chinese CPI, it's positive, more than last month and more than the forecasted, so that's good for the Chinese economy, which would mean that it could do some good for its trading partners, for example Aussie dollar and maybe Kiwi dollar. The other important news is the British pound official bank rate by Bank of England. It has remained the same as we discussed yesterday. The asset purchase facility has remained the same for ages. The unemployment claims in United States has increased, so it's bad for dollar. And I think that's all from the news, from the currency economic calendar. I saw in one of the news about this 30-year bond auction of United States. There were some 13 point some billion dollars auction today, so which means a lot of people, well, maybe not people, but these institutional investors are actually buying up US debts in billions of dollars. And this has been going on for ages, from as far as the books I've read. The sovereign states, the governments, they raise money through this way. So this is showing that it was at 2.2. So we'll come back to this again in the news when we see it again. And I think that's important. That's what we can take out from the economic calendar today. Oh, there's one more thing about the Japanese core machinery orders. It increased, so this is good for the yen. But I remember dollar yen went up today, which means yen weakened, but this may be a small correction. And same thing with pound yen too. There was some correction on the upside. Euro yen didn't move. Now going back to the Aussie employment change, even though this is good news for Aussie, I didn't see any much movement in Aussie dollar. Euro Aussie and pound Aussie fell down a bit, but that may be because Euro fell down. Pound didn't fell down, but there was some movement on the downside for pound Aussie. Now let's look at the news, important news to do with the currencies. Let's first go to the Financial Times currencies. Interesting one, I've seen this from before. Venezuela's currency is in trouble. This seems to have been going on for a while. I saw similar news around a couple of weeks to a month or so ago. This crisis in Puerto Rico. I don't even know how they pronounce this country name. Puerto Rico. So let's go to Google and see how they pronounce. PEUR, Puerto Rico pronounce. Maybe it's just better to go to translate. Google Translate. And do Puerto Rico. And there's some way to Puerto Rico. There you go, you heard it. So this crisis seems to be similar to what's going on in Greece. So it's a sovereign debt crisis. Looks like the stock markets are doing okay today in China, in Europe, in US. I didn't really understand what this was supposed to mean. Yen fueled by China's spillover fear. So yen, I initially thought this could mean that yen is gaining strength, but the charts didn't confirm or corroborate. How do you pronounce corroborate? Please go back. Once again. And corroborate, is it? So it doesn't work. Okay, we'll leave this then. Alright, so this was the same news from yesterday. Could this be, I think, I'm not sure if this is a recent news or from previous days. Let's see the date. This is from October 13, 2014. Oh, so this is an old news, so you can ignore this. So what tends to happen with Financial Times is the headlines are important, but the other small headlines are related news, but these are past news. Another important, what else could be important to currencies? Now this is something to note, where the Beijing's Chinese authorities are pumping money into the Chinese stock market to support it, but it looks like it was still falling down. So this is saying that when a market crash, sometimes the authority is not able to do much. But today we saw that the Chinese stock market seems to have bounced up a bit. So let's see. We have seen this news from yesterday. So let's get on with the other news. This is a related news from yesterday. The New York Stock Exchange technical fault shut down, but looks like they have come back saying that it was a technical fault. There was some software upgrade, and it's not to do with cyber attacks. Another one to note is the German finance minister Schäuble. That's how it's pronounced, it seems to be. He's warning that Greece Euro membership not etched in stone. So I'm not sure if this is a political play or does he really mean it, which means that he is okay if Greece leaves the Euro membership. Here we go again. Beijing's barrage of support stems China rout. This could be important political impact news, where Greece and Russia are signing energy deals. Now here we go. So the one we saw there, the Treasury Department, US Treasury Department auction $13 billion of 30-year bonds at a high yield of 3.084. And this is what we saw there. This one, so 3.08 is the yield from this auction. Interesting news. PBOC test QE with Chinese characteristic. So People's Bank of China. This is the first time I've seen the Chinese authority pumping by Chinese authority, and money could only mean People's Bank of China. So it's pumping money into the economy and stock market services. The first time I've seen QE linked with China. So in a way it is QE where the central government or the central bank is pumping money into the economy. And now if you look in the main news, this is what this reporter was saying about the cyber attacks. I'm not sure if she is referring to the one from New York Stock Exchange from yesterday, but the picture here given is of the Pentagon. Here's interesting news again. It's the risk is from Greece or China. Looks like Greece concern has abated a bit, and today the Chinese concern is also getting less of a problem, less worried. Here the Schäuble news again. This was interesting news where the IMF forecasted global forecast from 3.5% to 3.3%. One more interesting news, the Greek shops are accepting Bulgarian currency, lev. Otherwise, it looks like it's all okay around currencies. Now let's take a look at Bloomberg. Today, if you look at this, it seems like almost all the stock market, the French stock market, the German stock market, the UK stock market, the EU-wide stock market has all gone up. Looks like the crisis in Greece is still not over yet. The picture of the old drachma, it seems. Here's something to note. As Greece concern fades and China rebounds. Here's the news about the IMF cutting the world growth outlook. Whenever there's a bubble in any market, looks like there's something to do. It's something to do with irrational exuberance. Another currency news. Russia tightens reins on ruble. It could only mean that the Russian central bank might have increased the interest rate. Now this is something to note. When Draghi says something, it is important. So he seems to have said when, I don't remember him speaking anywhere. It looks like he spoke at some event and he says that this time it's difficult to find Greek solution. This is negative comment from the head of ECB, because he was the one who said who will do anything to save whatever it takes to save the euro. Now that doesn't mean that even if Greece leaves the European Union, the euro will still be there. We'll see. Looks like there was another deadline for Greece tonight, Thursday, There was some deadline to pay off its interest to the IMF or something. This is another news where looks like some banks are actually expecting Greece to leave the EU or Euro. And we saw a couple of days ago that the Greece shuts markets. I think it's referring to the stock market. There was a news a couple of days ago where the stock market was shut for 2 days from Tuesday, so today is Thursday. So it's saying that it's shut till July 13, which is next Monday. And anything else? This is where the Bank of England maintained the interest rate at 0.5%. FSB stands for Financial Stability Board of England. Anything else? Interesting news. What China can learn from the 1987 plunge protection team. There was a stock market crash in the US in 1987. So maybe it's referring to the same, that same similar thing may be happening in China as well. And looks like when stock markets plunge, it tends to go on for maybe a week or so. The initial day is normally called Black Tuesday or Black Friday, Black Wednesday, but it's an interesting one. German Finance Minister Schäuble is offering Liu, US Treasury Secretary, that he would rather take care of Puerto Rico instead of Greece. I think that's all that's important for the currencies for today. Look at the markets. So Dow Jones Index, Dow Jones Industrial, the DJIS stands for Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is simply known as Dow Jones as well. It has moved up today. S&P moved up. Crude oil moved up. Gold went down. Euro dollar went down. Dollar yen went up today. Now, one thing to know, yesterday Hang Seng fell down by 5%, but today it is plowed back its losses and it went up by 3.7% today. Now, this is something to note. Even if Greece exits EU or Euro, Fed may still raise interest rates. Crisis in Puerto Rico. Now it looks like since the 2008 financial crisis, so those were the height of Chinese growth. It looks like after that the Chinese economy seems to have fallen down. That's all from the news and fundamental analysis. Now let's take a look at the charts. So as we discussed today, there was a slight bounce yesterday, but today it fell down again. So Euro is still in downtrend. We're not sure if this is going to, the downtrend is going to continue or is going to go up. Pound dollar seems to have stayed the same. So this is a doji, so tomorrow there could be some bounce on the upside for pound. Right. Then dollar yen, yesterday there was a big plunge, but today there is a small correction up. There's a strong support around the 120, 118, 118. Dollar Canadian has been stagnating, so I think it's due for some correction, it seems. So if you have a long position, maybe try to wind it down a bit. Aussie dollar has been stagnating as well, so I think it's time for some correction as well. So if you have short positions on Aussie dollar, maybe lighten up a bit. TV dollar, same thing, it seems to have begun a correction. Not sure how more up this could go. Euro yen has been stagnating as well, but there's a chance that this may still fall down further. If you see in the weekly, it seems to be aiming to reach the 200 EMA. Pound yen, from the plunge from yesterday, today there was some small correction. It could still be heading towards 200 EMA, but maybe it will try for some correction and try to hit the 20 EMA or 5 EMA or the 50 EMA. And Euro Canadian, slight fall. Now if you look at this one, 200 EMA has been a good support, so we're not sure if it's going to go up, down yet. Now considering dollar Canadian was stagnating and there may be some correction, so there could be some correction in this pair as well in the next few days. Pound Canadian is in a uptrend. Now in the next few days pound may go up and Canadian may go up. It could stagnate for a bit. Euro Aussie, that correction, so but still we're not sure if it's in a proper uptrend or not. Pound Aussie is in an uptrend. Now we're not sure if this is a correction or the beginning of a downtrend. If Aussie goes up, then this will go down. If Aussie dollar goes up, pound Aussie may fall down. If it's a case of pound falling down, and Aussie going up, then this will fall down sharply. But let's see for the next few days. Japanese index today there are some small corrections, so it seems like there's a big correlation between Japanese stock index and dollar yen. Interesting to note. S&P 500 still stagnating around a 200 EMA. Now if you see from this week it's inside below 20 EMA. Maybe it's the beginning of a downtrend. Let's see, today went up, bounced up. The dollar index. Now this is interesting because this looks very similar to the dollar Canadian chart, and in this one it has had a seller bar yesterday. So I'm not sure if this is going to go down further, so people may want to start taking cover of their long positions. This looks like one of those chart patterns which happens before a downtrend, or this is, some people sometimes refer to this as an inverted M. And oil today there's still some correction on the upside. UK oil or the crude and the Brent, there's still some correction on the upside. Lastly, gold. Some correction, but gold is fairly stagnant. I think that's it for analysis for today. We shall pick it up again tomorrow, the last day of the week.